500 behind his countryman Usain Bolt. But if you have Bolt as a big favorite for London, wait a second and see what that young man looks like, because Blake is certainly a real threat to Usain Bolt.
And from Trinidad and Tobago, Keston Bledman, who ran a win 8 at 9:89 in Orlando last month.
Yeah, he really has been looking good. That actually was a wind legal 9:89, and that, in fact, makes him number 5 this year on the world list. And there's Richard Thompson, the guy who was second across the line for Trinidad and Tobago, behind Usain Bolt in the Beijing Olympics back in 2008.
And no offense indeed, but probably one of the most forgotten silver medalists of all time after what Usain Bolt did in Beijing and then later on at the World Championships. Richard Thompson, Keston Bledman, Mike Rogers there as well. It's going to be very interesting to see. Johan Blake, a big favorite here, but what is the time relative to what Tyson Gay did in his return? Tyson Gay, you thought maybe he'd go back to the hotel, but no, he's watching to see what one of his main competitors in London will do.
We should have an asterisk next to that 10 flat, because given the 1.5 meter per second headwind, we have checked the tables, and that is worth about 990 or 991. I spoke to Johan Blake's coach, Glenn Mills, in the elevator just a couple hours ago, and he said, listen, I'm not worried about time with any of my athletes. I want Johan to come out here and execute. If he does that, I think he's going to run as fast as he has all season. Well, he's run 9.84 this year, and it doesn't seem like the headwind is prevailing anymore. So I expect some fireworks here with this sort of heat.
Runners into their blocks, the 100 meters, the final event at the Adidas Grand Prix. Mentioned the time for Johan Blake. Usain Bolt has run the fastest in the world so far this year, 9:76 in Rome a couple of weeks ago.
And just glancing at the flags, Paul, the wind has died almost completely down. So it means we have a good chance at a legal race and a chance to watch the reigning world champion, Johan Blake.
Bledman in 4, Rogers in 5, Blake in 6, Terrell Kimmins in 7.
I don't know if this starter knows how disconcerting that walk that he's doing. Look at everybody put their hands up.
I was thinking the same thing, Otto.
There's a way to check if everybody's in their blocks and behind the line without doing that. And I don't think they realize that that's what's causing everybody to raise their hands at false start. You're trying to focus straight down. You have these orange shoes walking in front of you. So you see everybody up out of their blocks. It hasn't been any sort of a discrepancy at the start, but kind of threw everybody off. Remember, everybody leaves this meet and heads to their trial, so this is the last chance to get that confidence boost before you go try to make the Olympic team. Mike Rogers is certainly somebody who might factor in Eugene. Johan Blake has to contend with Asafa Powell and Usain Bolt back home. That's like a mini Olympics down there in Kingston.
Can Johan Blake legitimately challenge Usain Bolt at 100 meters in London?
There's no question about it, because the people that give Bolt problems are the guys who have good speed endurance. 1926 tells you all you need to know about the kind of speed endurance that Johan Blake has. In other words, if he gets out ahead of Bolt, which is likely, it's unlikely that he hands back any sort of lead. What a great way to close what has been a fantastic Adidas run. Here's the walk again.
And a fair start, Johan Blake in lane 6. Coming, but he's getting some challenge from Michael Rogers. Also for Keston Bledman, but Johan Blake gets it 9:90.
Well, 9